as always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I feel like he's made my winner of the week list a bunch of times. Shohei Ohtani. Okay.
You are an Ohtani guy.
I am. I think it's amazing what he's doing. I'm fascinated by him. He's unbelievable. Well, lot of trade discussion going on right now. Sounds like there's some trade discussion going on, perhaps with the Mets and perhaps some others out there. I know there's got to be some teams that are really interested in him. Here's what's crazy. He's got a contract negotiation coming up. And there's some out there that believe his asking price can be above $60 million a year. $60 million a year. If you look at his numbers currently, they're on par, maybe even a little better than Max Scherzer, who makes $43 million a year. His batting numbers are on par, maybe a little better than Matt Olson, who makes $21 million a year. So now that doesn't mean that you just get to add stuff like that together, but there is going to be some seriously big added premium in there because he does both and does both so well. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to see him well above $50 million a year whenever he signs a contract. And you know what happens, Gabe? Whenever people see money, they want some. There's very few players out there that do both, that pitch and hit. And there's a lot of players that are great at both, but they start to focus, in college and definitely in the minors on, one or the other. If you've got a guy that's now by far the highest paid player in baseball, guess what people are going to start doing? They're going to start wanting to do both.
It's a great point. We're gonna see some pitchers that are like, no, I can rake. You're letting me bat. I want to get that Ohtani money. And I've seen this several places, but just talking about him, the Angels trading him. Well, where can he go? Him for Juan Soto? Huh? Remember he turned down the offer from the Nationals?
Yep.
Makes some sense.
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy that, and I guess I can understand them wanting to trade because there's so much value there. And it's weird that they have like the two best players in baseball and it still doesn't mean anything. And I know it's a team sport and there's more than that, but daggum, you would think that you'd be able to move the needle a little bit, right?
Yeah. And it is confusing, but the Ohtani situation, we just do not appreciate it enough.
I know. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. And also remember the hype when he came over here? And it was one of those like, okay, the guy can pitch and hit. I'm sure he's decent. Like he has surpassed. It's almost like LeBron James, like when it comes to surpassing the hype.
Right. Yeah. It's wild. He is an impressive dude. Steals bases. Good stuff.
Yeah. And that's us talking baseball. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the week?
Let's talk some more baseball.
Oh,
this is less baseball talk, but it's in Major League Baseball. Did you see Carlos Rodon after a bad inning come into the dugout and kicked a bat that was like leaned up against the bench and drills one of his teammates in the shin? Player goes down to the ground holding his knee, like right below his knee. And everyone else in the dugout was like, dude, like they were pissed, not happy about it. And I had to laugh because that is so something that I would do. Like that has my name written all over it.
Are you in a roundabout way making yourself your loser of the week?
Yes. That I have had so many instances in my life growing up where I missed a shot, whatever, and I just blow up. My dad, my nickname growing up, and this started when I was like 5, was landmine.
Oh,
Because
landmine Lehman.
you never knew when the landmine was going to go off. That was it. But I had to laugh because of the reaction from the rest of the team. They were pissed.
That video is hilarious until it's not, and you're like, oh no,
Right.
those guys are mad.
Yeah, they were mad. That was pretty wild.
Oh, landmine Lehman. I love
That's
it.
right.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs, checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all, whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone. Everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total of more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
And if you're a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing. Head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year round. Remember, in 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners, they're from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the week, I thought about going with Chicago Bears fans. And we talked to Mayor David Holt a little bit about this. I didn't love the dome idea from the Chicago mayor, but at least the leadership in the city is trying to keep the team there. And I will say, you and I, we've both played on Soldier Field. That grass, people shouldn't have to play professional football on that grass. It's too shitty. So I'm a grass proponent. I am. I think field turf is it great? It's not great. It serves its purpose when it needs to. But that grass could go. I don't care. It's awful.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It is so slow, so chunky. Anytime you plant, it all pills up. It's awful. I hate it. Now, the sketchings that I saw, it was a dome, but it looked like a glass or plexiglass dome, right? Is that what that was?
I saw it, and in my head, I was like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but hey, I will say, at least they're trying to dissuade ownership from taking them out to the burbs, right? Which
it looked awesome. Yeah.
We'll see, but I appreciate the effort, I think. But if that kills that grass and they no longer have to play on it, then good, because it's terrible.
Yeah, and I don't know if someone could maybe bring us up to speed on this. If that is glass on the top and you get sunlight in there, is that enough to grow maybe something better because you can keep the climate better inside the dome? I don't know. Maybe the UV rays or whatever that it needs don't make it through the glass, but you're right. I hate turf fields, but that whatever they do there has to change.
It's awful.
Absolutely have to change it. Green Bay somehow does it. I know they've got the heated field. Chicago should do at least that.
Yeah, I figure it out. Chicago.
But it's bad in August.
It's bad all year round. It's shitty grass, man.
You do not play football on tall fescue, okay? I think that's what that is. I don't know, but that's not what you play football on.
That's for the second cut of rough at the US Open, okay?
Right.
That's what it's for. I also thought about going with Julio Jones for my winner of the week. Now, he's getting up there, man, and certainly was not productive in Tennessee, but if anyone can rejuvenate his career, if there's anyone that can help him find the fountain of youth, it's Tom Brady. And he signed with the Buccaneers. So we'll see. But yeah, teaming up Mike Evans, Godwin, a couple other really good pieces on that offense. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but if anyone's going to get production out of Julio Jones, who used to be the best wide receiver in the entire National Football League, I feel like Tom Brady can do it.
On paper, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin looks like the best wide receiver core in the NFL, doesn't it? On paper, just name wise.
Oh yeah.
No, Julio Jones isn't what he used to be, but you're right. Tom Brady has when everyone feels like they have a chance to win a Super Bowl, it changes the way guys prepare and the way guys attack a season. And, you could see some good stuff from Julio Jones.
Yeah. But my winner of the week, Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren, because he came out at Big Ten Media Days with his chest puffed out and he let the people know. He said, hey, man, we'll be able to provide content all the way from the morning into the night now that we got USC and UCLA. Talked about the conference expanding further, right? Said they're going to be strategic, but they will take a bold approach to that whole thing. Even gave some people some universities he thought would add value. Obviously Notre Dame, but threw Oregon out there, Washington, Stanford, Cal, Miami, Florida State, just throwing it out, putting it all out there, Ted. And you talk about a guy whose reputation has changed in a 2-year period of time. Man, Kevin Warren's feeling good right now, feeling real good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like whenever you throw out a list like that, whenever you're a commissioner, you don't throw lists out for no reason, right?
Correct.
Like that doesn't happen just out of nowhere. And here's the thing, and I talked about this way back whenever USC and UCLA first announced that I thought Oregon, Washington, and Stanford, and I don't know if I said Cal or not, but someone else was going to go to the Big Ten. If that happens, the only option is for the Pac-12 to merge with the Big 12 because it's dead. Conference is dead, right? So
I don't even think merge would be the right word. That the Big 12 would absorb what the carcass left.
Yes, exactly. Absorb. That's perfect. But man, you mentioned it, Miami and Florida State. To mention Miami and Florida State and skip right over Clemson, is he telling us something? Is Clemson going to the SEC?
When I saw the list, my first reaction was, oh, here we go. Dabo's going to have something to use to motivate his team. Oh, little old Clemson, we're not good enough. But yeah, that's got to be it, right? Because Clemson's the brand in the ACC. It is. Because at least football. So yeah, maybe he told us that without telling us, if you know what I'm saying.
You can't say that Cal adds value to the Big Ten and then start mentioning ACC teams and not Clemson wouldn't add value to the Big Ten. What do you mean? Of course it would. It's the school right now in the ACC that would add the most value. So the fact that he skips it, that's interesting.
It is. It definitely is. He also dropped, he just threw it out there, the possibility of a 16-team playoff. Remember that working group that had Greg Sankey and Bob Bowlesby did all that work, landed on a 12-team CFP, saying that would be best. Well, some things have changed since then. And hey, maybe all the options are back on the table for consideration, but I do think he made it clear that he wants multiple media partners involved in the college football playoff. And that's really not surprising because remember, this new media rights deal the Big Ten is about to sign, their main media partner is going to be Fox. Now there's going to be other people that have a piece of it, but the main partner is Fox. So I think he's looking at the situation going, we would like for Fox to have a piece of the college football playoff and for ESPN not to have the entire thing. So we were kind of searching for reasons why they voted against CFP expansion. Maybe that's the main one. I don't know, but I found that interesting that he just threw out that 16-team playoff comment.
Yeah, they voted against it last time it was up, and not that he's had a change of heart, but the dynamic has changed, and it's changed quickly. And like, you can no longer get upset that the SEC's adding teams because you've had to answer and you've added teams yourself. So yeah, I don't know, man. It just makes you feel like there's some really big things in the works, right?
Yeah, no, it does. Sure. And
if they add all of those teams, and like we talked about, Clemson and a handful of others are left over, maybe go to the SEC. Like, you're quickly approaching a NFC, AFC type of situation.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like it's headed towards.
Yeah.
But hey, at least OU's in one of them.
That's right. We're in.
I will say this. The difference a few years makes. We were roasting Kevin Warren when they kind of acted prematurely and tried to get everyone else to follow him and canceling the 2020 season. We were absolutely roasting that man. And I still think he didn't handle that properly. He didn't. But got a lot of respect for him. Cutthroat businessman, goes and gets UCLA, USC. I think his reputation has gotten a big boost over these last couple of weeks.
I agree. Big Ten's on the move. They've got a ride still working right now that's going to pay them a ton of money, adding teams, possibly adding more. Life is good in the Big Ten.
Yeah. All right, for my loser of the week, thought about going with Druw Jones. Did you see this?
Unbelievable.
What? So he was the second overall pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks in this month's MLB draft. Signed a contract that was worth over $8.1 million. And, well, in his first batting practice, somehow injured his shoulder, and they don't know the severity of it, but maybe out for the season. Like, what?
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Was this like the batting practice, like where they go and it's like a photo op batting practice, like what Kyler did?
You would think it's something like that, or a simple, like, just BP session.
Wow. That's
nothing
crazy.
Rigorous.
I don't know. That's wild. It's wild. Trying to overdo it, I guess. Trying to overdo it.
Not a good way to start the professional career.
Dang. Yeah. At least he got the $8 million deal signed already.
Yeah. All right. But my loser of the week, the Arizona Cardinals. The independent study addendum in Kyler Murray's contract is very, very weird. And say what you want about Kyler, but I have no idea why the Cardinals would do that. That is a conversation for behind closed doors. If you aren't happy with the way he prepares for games, you talk to him about it. Hell, you could even fine him. You don't put it in the contract language that you know people are going to read through. It embarrasses Kyler. It makes your organization look like dumbasses. It alters the way other players in the league think about him, including his teammates. There are no winners by putting the independent study addendum in the deal. Ted, help me understand. Maybe I'm missing something. Help me understand.
I'll help you understand.
Okay.
I think this is a multifaceted problem. The first problem is probably in good negotiation and good like faith. Kingsbury probably has said, like, he's got a high ceiling. I love the kid. We need him. He can be unbelievable in this league. But in order to take that next step at this level, there's going to have to be another level of investment on his part. And one of the things about Kyler, and I think this is one of the amazing things about Kyler, is he's gotten this far really just kind of winging it almost. And if you've heard Lincoln Riley talk about his preparation, like, he was never really thrilled with.
Kyler has said publicly that he's not a guy that watches a ton of film. He's talked about it and talked about, kind of he has just gift. You kind of can just anticipate the way things are going to happen and stuff like. But to put it in the contract for everyone to see,
Well, here's the other part of that. Like, I think that was an honest negotiating talk from Kingsbury where, hey man, if you're going to sign this type of deal, like, here's what's expected of you. I think GM wise, putting that in the contract is like a aha moment, because if you have that in the contract and now it's public, guess what? When a player doesn't perform, where's the criticism going to go? Typically it would go, well, they need to surround him with better players, or this system doesn't work. And, they're not, trying to get the best out of his abilities. There's better things that he could be doing. Now, because this is out, it goes to, he's not doing the work off the field to prepare. And it lets the franchise off the hook. It's like you're preempting any type of criticism that may come to you. You're already getting it to where it's going to be directed right at him.
Yeah, he's gotten his extension. Now you want people to know so that maybe you keep your job longer situation.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Little CYA.
Little CYA in there. And I doubt that it was a Kingsbury thing to put that in there. Maybe it was, but I think it was like in good faith, like, hey man, like, I want you to be the best in the league. And if you can give us this will be a good step in getting you there. And obviously that's now blown up, because anytime Kyler has a bad game, you know exactly what people are going to say now.
Right. And that's my big issue with it.
Right.
Like, I think you could come to some sort of agreement without putting it in the contract that everyone is going to go through. And you look at it, right? 4 hours they basically, hey, you have study hall for 4 hours.
I laughed at the 4 hours. Yesterday on my radio show, I think I said, I bet the average for NFL starting quarterback of independent film study a week is probably 12 hours on their own.
Oh yeah.
And that may be low.
Yeah. And I guess they're going to supply him with the material. And then this is the interesting part. I read that they will be monitoring the iPad usage to make sure he's not doing anything on there while he's doing his studying to distract him. Is this all just because he plays a lot of video games? What's it called? The Phase Clan? I'm not into that stuff, but I know he is. I just feel like the Cardinals, they created an issue that could have been avoided.
Yep.
By putting it officially in the contract. I don't know, man. It's a bad look for everyone,
For everyone.
It's like you just gave this guy $160 million guaranteed, and now you're like, hey, here's your homework.
But it looks bad for Kyler at first glance, but after you think about it for a minute, it's like, dude, this kid's playing NFL quarterback, just signed a $46 million a year contract, and he doesn't really even prepare. Like, how?
Seriously,
how
talented.
good is he?
talking about just, hey, yeah, kids, guy's pretty talented, but also there's part of me like this is in there, right? And they're going to monitor the iPad usage. He should just let full games roll and just play on his phone while he does it. He should troll them the first week.
80 hours of film.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. He watched film for 3 straight days.
Like, oh my God. Hey, we want you to cut back. We don't think you're sleeping good.
You're
right?
doing too much, Kyler. We saw that you were logging film study at 3:30. I don't know. Just weird. Maybe my biggest issue with it is like Cardinals fans are supposed to be fired up right now, right?
Right.
You just locked your franchise quarterback in. Everyone's happy. You got to enjoy it for not even a week. We got to enjoy it for like 4 days. And then this comes out and you're like, oh, awesome.
Hey, I think he's going to be just fine. If you could get him to put in 4 hours of real meaningful study a week, more than what he's been doing, I think that could get you some good results. But here's the thing, man. And you know this, like, if you're not interested and you don't really want to do it, to watch it and to really try and learn from it, it's just a waste of time.
Yep.
Right. If you're like, even if you're like paying attention to it, but like, if you're not fully invested and be like, hey, I need to get this work in, I'm, and seriously dive into it and figure out the things that you need to figure out, it's a worthless endeavor.
No doubt.